Hey go guys, Paul from Real McCoy Discus and the Discus Garage. Before I get started, I just want to get something out of the way. To the individuals that like to get on the Discus Garage and disagree with people, voice your opinions like it's the only way to do things, I want that shit to stop. Right? There's a couple of individuals in particular that like to think they know more than everyone else, and they very well may know a lot. However, there's no need for anybody in this fucking page to be putting other people down or telling other people that their ways are wrong and that your way is right. Right? This is about sharing information on this page. Right? Not telling people that their way is rubbish and that your way is the only way. Because I'm fucking telling you now, if I see it, I'm going to kick you out. I've had a fucking enough. Alright? People put information on here or they ask questions. Don't tell them this is the only way. Because it's fucking not. As this video is going to show. Alright, so that's it. I'll move on to what this video is going to be all about, and that is CC, or cross-contamination, also known as the discus plague. Guys, it's real, and I know because I've had it, or I'm getting over it now. And unfortunately, there's not enough information out there about CC, and certainly very little on how to rectify it, to fix it. For those that don't know what CC is or what it looks like, it's quite simple. When you bring new discus into an old system or your system at home, and the bacteria and the fish are obviously from different areas, different farms, different water conditions, but you put them together and the bacteria mix and the fish get sick. They'll go black, all their fins will crimp down, they'll hide in the corner of the big group, and they'll get a lot of slime coat, and that is CC. I would imagine there's probably a lot of people that have had it and lost fish because they didn't know what it was and certainly didn't know how to treat it. So if you've had it and what I've just described to you is what you had, that's what you had. Alright, CC. Now, prevention. Again, not a lot out there about preventing it. Now, we had a really good article this week that we shared on the Discus Garage, and that was about from an Andrew Soul. I think that's how his last name is pronounced. Sorry if that's wrong, Andrew. S-O-H, his last name was. And excellent. Oh, I was like, this is like phenomenal stuff. However, other than that, there's not a lot out there. So, and I was talking to him today for quite a period of time, and he agreed that there's no 100% way you can stop from getting it. You just can't do it. There are ways you can help yourself to prevent your fish from getting CC, and one of those ways is mellifixing. Okay, so when you put your new fish in with the old fish, mellifix your tank and do that for 3 to 5 days. Do a water change every day, even if you have to do it. If you can't, worst case, at least mellifix every 24 hours from the time you put the fish in. If you do that, you're going to go a long way to helping prevent your fish from getting CC. However, there is another way. You can also formalin the tank. However, if you use formalin, remember, do not, and I do repeat, do not overdose it. You will kill everything. Formalin will also kill all your bacteria in your filters. So if you decide to use formalin, you will have to go back to doing water changes every 2 days because it will kill all the bacteria in your filter. It will kill all the bacteria on everything. So formalin is another way, but it's a sort of more of a drastic situation. If you're already doing water changes every day, it probably doesn't bother you. However, if you have a good setup with a lot of bacteria and you don't do water changes but every 3 or 4 days, don't use formalin. Go down the mellifix path. However, should your fish get CC, there is a way of a successful way of treating it. Okay, now again, this is my opinion and what I did. I'm not telling you that this is the only way because it's not the only way. Okay, as we found out recently, and I'm finding out now. I used formalin. I did 90% water changes every day, and I used formalin. Now, yes, it killed all the bacteria in my filters. I'm back to doing water changes every day. Luckily, I've got a pretty cool setup for that, so I'm not worried. But I did successfully treat all my fish except for the one that's still a little bit sick, and I lost one pair of existing fish and only one of 12 fish that I brought in. So I would say that's a success because I've got 95% of the fish in my system still. We've since learned, as if you've read that article of Andrew's, that tetracycline is the way to go. Now, this is where, like I said earlier, there are more than one way of doing things. I am currently dosing the last fish I have with tetracycline. I've done that for 4 days now, and I've never seen a fish get look as good as he does after 4 days when I was using the formalin. No, not even close to looking like this after 4 days. He's eating, his colours come back. Every day I can see slime cake coming off his body. That's what you want to see, seeing that slime cake disappear. So it does work. So there you go, guys. If you've got any questions, ask, but those are your two methods. Don't forget, if you use tetracycline or formalin, you will lose all your bacteria. So I would suggest isolating the tank or isolating the fish. Big air stone, try to do minimum 50% every day and dose the formalin and the tetracycline every day until that fish is better. Don't wait 3 days, don't do 5 days, which I've heard. No, keep dosing until that fish has gotten better, and you guys should be fine. So anyway, guys, got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Cheers.